my dears, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela and I put out beauty related videos sometimes. I know, it's been like another 2 weeks since my last video, but let me tell you, the last 2 weeks before school started for my kids were like the roughest. Only because it's so hard to keep children entertained. Like, if you have children, let me know how hard it is for you to keep them entertained 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when they're not in school. Like, it's so hard. Anyway, today's video. Today's video, I am going to play around with a few more SHOPMISSA AOA Studio in particular makeup. I had really good feedback on my last SHOPMISSA video. It's gotten the most views out of all the videos that I've put up in the last like month or two. So I figured, you know, since I keep purchasing stuff from them, why not share it with you guys? I did pick up a lot more stuff because damn it, SHOPMISSA, they keep doing this thing, and they're going to do this thing until the end of the year, where shipping between Tuesday and Thursday is only $1 with a $5 minimum purchase, which I think that's what gets me, you guys. I'm a sucker when it comes to deals. Like, if I'm only gonna have to spend $5 and then $1 shipping to get 5 items, like, I am sold, you know? I am very, very frugal when it comes to makeup. I prefer a more cheaper alternative, like, and don't get me wrong, I like, you know, high-end or luxury makeup. I have a little bit of high-end stuff in my collection that I cherish and that I truly, truly, wholeheartedly love. But if I'm looking for something to buy, I'm always gonna go the cheaper route. Like, that's just who I am. I've been that way for years. I remember there was a time where I only splurged on eyeshadow palettes. Like, eyeshadows were just not the best at the drugstore, but man, things have changed a lot. So I don't have any more babbling. No. Let's just do this. Let's get into it. Okay, so obviously I'm barefaced. I don't have anything on my face right now. I've got things like the new AOA Studio, what is this called? Buildable Satin Foundation. I've got a cream blush to try out. I have a new shade of this particular highlighter formula that I really, really liked and raved in my last video. I have a brow pencil, and I'm a little bit skeptical on this because I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I tried this yesterday for the first time, and I just love my CoverGirl micro brow pencil so much. It's really, really hard to like other pencils, and I'm not gonna lie, that one, we're still gonna play around with it today though, so we'll see how things go for today. I always start with my brows first. This is the AOA Studio. The label's already rubbed off, you guys, and I seriously got this on Saturday. I'll have everything in the description box below if you are curious or interested in any of these products. I know that this shade is in the shade dark brown, and we're just gonna go ahead and brush all of my hairs upward here. And I'm going to fill in. I don't like these chunky ones because they don't give you those really cute hair-like strokes that most of us look for. So I'm gonna attempt to fill in my brows the best way that I can. I mean, that doesn't look so bad. It's a little... Why do they look so sheer? I don't know, maybe it's the camera or the lighting that I've got set up, but I don't know. It doesn't look as dark or as full as I'd like it to be. Okay, so I just finished filling them in. They are not my absolute favorite. That product is just overly waxy, so I am gonna do something that I don't ever really do that often, and that is carve out my brows. I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand with this little brush. This is a SHOPMISSA brush, by the way, and I am just going to, yeah, fix all these mistakes. And I'm sure if they put that pencil like in a micro-tipped form, it would be so much better. SHOPMISSA, if you ever watch this video, consider making that pencil in a micro-tip, because I feel like it would work so much better if it had a smaller applicator. So I'm moving on to the face. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a completely full face of SHOPMISSA today. I do have, I want to say, about 3 products that are not from SHOPMISSA. They're from my own personal stash or whatever, but for the most part, I do have a full face. I am going to go in with my Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick because we're going to put on our foundation next. This foundation, the only instructions that it has is to use a pore filling primer. I don't really have too many pore filling primers, to be honest, so this is the only one I've got. So I figured I'd pick this one and just kind of put a little bit in my T-zone here where my pores are, and then apply the foundation. Okay, for foundation, they just launched this foundation, I want to say about a week or two ago or so, and this is the AOA Studio A+ Buildable Satin Foundation. I have mine in the shade 307 Natural Beige, and as you can see, that's pretty orange. I didn't purchase an additional shade because I am not one of those people to just purchase multiple shades to mix, even though this is only $1.88. I'm sure if you're not able to find your shade, you know, you could always just buy a couple of these, which is still really, really affordable to mix and combine to fit your perfect shade. Honestly, I just wanted to try the formula, and that's why I only purchased one bottle. I didn't want to invest in a whole bunch just in case I didn't like it. I have used it a couple of times, so I do want to just give my 2 cents on it, and that is I don't like it by itself. I actually like to mix this with the Catrice HD Liquid Foundation, which is super duper matte, and because this is a satin buildable formula, it helps that really, really matte foundation kind of feel a lot better, less drying. So I've been using this to mix in with my lighter foundations, and I've been really, really liking, you know, this combined with something else. So the only instructions on the side of the bottle says to shake well, so I am gonna shake this really, really well. The shade might be off on my face, but you know what? I don't really care. So we're just gonna go ahead and use a SHOPMISSA brush. This is the AOA Studio F4 brush. This is one of my favorites. It's a really nice little tight, densely packed foundation brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a couple more shakes, and I'm going to apply a couple drops straight onto the brush. There we go. This does have a scent. It's a very fresh scent. If you do have that Catrice foundation, it's not nearly as strong as that one, but it does have a really nice, like, fresh scent. As you can see, this coverage is light. It is a very, very light coverage foundation. If you're a full coverage queen, girl, this ain't for you. If you're somebody who just wants to sort of even out their skin tone, you'll really, really like this because it really does a nice job at evening out the skin. So I really like that. I am definitely not a full coverage person. I prefer lightweight all day, every day, because I sweat a lot and I don't like, you know, my sweaty face just covered in foundation. So I will go in with just a couple of layers though. I'll show you how it builds up. But as far as this first layer, it covered nothing. My skin still looks the same. On camera, I will say it does look like a pretty decent match, at least from what I could see now. Editing Pam could have different opinions, but for the most part, I think it looks, you know, it looks okay. In person, it definitely does look a lot more orange, but on camera today, it doesn't look so bad. Definitely gives you dewy skin. That satin finish is no joke. I am going to go in with one more layer here just to see if I can build up the coverage just a little bit and show you what that looks like. Oh my gosh, it's so liquidy. Boop, 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 boop. You don't get much product. I don't know why I didn't mention that. You get 0.64 ounces, but again, it's $1.88, so even if you buy 2 to complete that 1 fluid ounce, it's still way cheaper than a lot of the foundations at the drugstore. I got a little bit more coverage on that one. I'm not seeing too many of my blemishes down here, which is always nice. I'm sorry, I'm sweating like crazy. It's really hot today. Looks really, really pretty on the skin, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it definitely makes it look like just regular skin. I am gonna take my sponge. This is another SHOPMISSA sponge. This is the, what are you? I think this is the mochi sponge, the chiseled mochi sponge. As always, I'll have everything linked down below, but I'm just taking this and pressing my foundation in. All right, that's 2 layers of the foundation. I think it looks good. This is my preferred coverage. I don't like to build up or cake up too much stuff on my face because, like I said, I'm a sweaty girl. I am gonna go with my own concealer. This is a very high-end concealer. It's the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I really like this stuff, and it's the only thing that looks really good under my eyes. So I am gonna use my fancy schmancy concealer, and then I'll, you know, move on to the rest of the face. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. I do have the AOA Studio Perfect Finishing Press Powder in the shade Translucent. This does not have any silica, so it will not give you flashback, which I love. Oh my gosh, I love it when my products don't have silica, because if you're not familiar with silica. Silica is what gives you that flashback. It definitely mattifies, so as you could see, I went from being super dewy in this area to pretty smooth and matte. So I am going to powder my whole face with this because if I don't powder it, my sweat will just literally move all of my foundation. I am going to take a big old brush like this one here, cover it in powder, and press it onto my face. Okay, so that powder definitely took a little bit of that shine away, but you could still see my glow. Like, you could still see that satin finish shining through. It did not change or oxidize the color of my foundation at all, which is always nice. I mean, it is a translucent powder, so looks really good on the skin. My pores look really nice and smooth, but that's obviously because of this little guy here. But everything looks really, really good on the skin. Like, I'm not mad about this at all. I'm gonna go ahead and bronze now. I picked up this AOA Studio Perfect blush in the shade Fino, F-I-N-O, I don't know. But it's supposed to be a blush. It definitely looks more like a bronzer or contour-like shade for me. So what I'm gonna do is first, I'm gonna go in with this little brush and sort of chisel my cheeks out. That doesn't look half bad. It's still a little bit light, but not terrible at all. This doesn't look half bad as a bronzer right now. I think it looks really pretty, very natural. I'm going for a natural look today, obviously. Oh my gosh, look at how smooth that applied. Like, there's no like patchiness to these. Like, I really, really like these. And then I like to take a fluffier brush like this one and apply some to, you know, my double chin here. No, such is life. My goodness, that looks really, really pretty on the skin. Like, it looks almost like a very natural, like, bronze. I like that a lot. Okay, so I messed up. I do have a cream blush that I really, really wanted to put on today, but I think I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try applying this blush on top of powder, and I'm a little bit scared because I'm really liking the way everything looks right now. Upon first like feeling it, I'll be honest, I swatched this the day that I got it because let's face it, when we get new makeup, we just can't help ourselves. We have to swatch. It feels greasy, like it almost feels like that kiddish makeup. However, it's very, very pigmented, and when I blended it out on my skin, it really does dry down nicely, and it looks so pretty. Like, it looks really, really pretty, really natural. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's a kind of a lighter shade. Well, it looks dark in the pan, but it does sheer out really nicely. We're gonna try this with the sponge. I'm just gonna go ahead and load up the bottom of my sponge here with as much product as possible. It looks really, really nice, really, really pink and cute. And I am just going to go ahead and try to apply this onto the cheek. Oh my gosh! It didn't pick up any of the product at all. Okay, okay, Shop Miss A. I think I over applied the blush, but that's okay. That's okay. So I'm looking a little extra like rosy today. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush here, make sure there's nothing on it, and I'm just gonna sort of just blend this out a little bit. I'm looking very, very cheeky today. But you know what? I'm really impressed that this Dollar Cream blush like just sits so beautifully. That sits so beautifully on top of powder. I'm really shocked. Like, it just looks so good. It didn't accentuate my pores. It gave my skin. Do you see that? I am gonna take my sponge and see if maybe I can tone this down just a little bit. It's a little bit more pink than I would like. Oh, and if you hear Cecilia, well, you know that. She lives here too. Continue to try to like sheer this out so that it's not so pigmented, and you guys, like, it doesn't matter if I use this brush or a sponge, it's still not disturbing the makeup underneath. Yeah, everything looks really, really good in my opinion. Like, I'm very confident in my makeup so far today. For highlighter, I have raved about these in particular so much. I raved about the shade Snap, and this continues to be my favorite shade. I love this, but I picked up another shade. This one is called Cupcake. It's definitely more pink and silver, or pink with like a cool undertone. You see that? It's a little bit light for me, I'll be honest. I'll compare it to Snap, which is my favorite. Snap is a little bit more gold. Snap is right here. As you can see, it's a little bit more gold. equally beautiful. Like, I think they both have consistent formulas. I almost just kind of want to use them together today and see like what kind of shade I come up with. I love mixing highlighters lately. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go boop, 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 and mix them and go ahead and highlight my face. Ooh, I don't think I'm ever ready for that. Like, it just always looks so good to me. Oh, by the way, this is another AOA Studio brush. This is their highlighting brush, and it is the F19. I like that. I like that a lot. I love that mixed together. I think I just found that perfect peachy pink, you know, highlighter that I'm always looking for, because that looks stunning. I love that you can't see it when I'm looking straight at the camera, but when I turn and the light catches it, that's my favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows now. I did pick up a new one of these. I've raved about this in the past. This is the AOA Studio Go Brow in the shade Dark Brown. I picked up a new one because I've been using the e.l.f. Wow Brow lately, and I really like that one a lot. However, you know, I figured I needed to buy a couple of things to make up that $1 shipping from last week. So I just decided to pick up the brow gel because I really like it, and why not have 2 in my rotation. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so I quickly did a little eye look off of camera. I honestly just used the 2 blushes that I already have. I don't have any of their single eyeshadows because I have so many single eyeshadows, you guys. I don't need any more at this moment. So I just used, like I said, the blushes and a little bit of the highlighters to, you know, add a little bit of sparkle onto my eye. But I really like the way that it looks. It looks very natural, very pretty. I'm loving the skin. Like, the skin is my favorite part. I love the way everything looks on camera. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I'm gonna zoom you in real quick before I do my lips, just so that you could see how smooth everything looks. And everything looks so smooth, so beautiful. Like, I love the way that my skin still has that like natural dew going on, but it doesn't feel heavy or greasy or sticky, which you guys know that I don't like that. My eyebrows, you know, now that I'm looking at them close up, they look really, really good. I'm not mad about it, even though I have to do an extra step, which is like carving my brows out. I'm not upset. I think everything looks really, really good for being $1. Like, the only thing that I have on my face that isn't $1 right now is the primer that I used, obviously, and my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. But I'm staring at this right here, not this, and everything just looks so good. Even around my nose, it looks pretty damn good. So I'm really impressed. I think the one thing that I'm the most impressed about, I'm not gonna lie, is that blush, just because it laid so beautifully on top of powder, and you know, it still looks really, really good. So I'm really, really happy with this. Since I have you zoomed in, I figured why not put on the lips right now. This is their AOA Studio Lip Pop Lip Gloss. It is in the shade City Girl. It's like a little squeezy tube with like a doe foot applicator. I really, really love this color. It doesn't have a smell, so if you're sensitive to smells, you'll like that. It's definitely a very like, you know, just makeup-y smell or whatever. Mostly just smells like the plastic tube or whatnot. So I am just gonna apply a little bit of this onto the lips. It's like a beautiful Your Lips But Better color, and I think it complements the entire look very, very nicely. Not sticky, not heavy feeling, just absolutely wonderful. It's really so like crazy that all of these products just work, you know, just as good as anything at the drugstore. And that's all I've got for you guys today. So hopefully you enjoyed today's almost full face of Shop Miss A. I'm sorry I missed out on a couple of those items. However, if you have tried any of their primers, you know, let me know in the comments below what you think about them. If it's something that you use regularly or, you know, use every now and then or whatever. And if you have used them, let me know which one you like. I'd like to pick it up on the next, you know, Shop Miss A haul. I should have said that this video is in no way, shape, or form sponsored. Shop Miss A has no idea who I am. I really just like the products, and I'd love to spread the knowledge, especially when they're only $1. Like, you just can't go wrong with this stuff. Like, you just can't. So, yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and spread my love for makeup, and I will see you next time I decide to sit down and film a video for you guys.
Rainbow.
Okay? Okay. Mwah. Bye-bye.